everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of the Galactic Ruler tutorial series, brought to you by BattleGoat. So today what we're going to do is have a little fun. We're going to show you some land combat and some space combat. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be attacking the pirates. I don't know why I'm pointing down here in the bottom left. They recently attacked my ally here, or my colony, and well, obviously, as you can tell, I have a rather large force, so they defended proudly the colony. And what we're going to do is we're going to take over basically the space around the planet, and then we're going to land troops on the planet, and yeah. We're going to remove the pirates from our inner solar system. This is going to be most likely your first combat in the game at all. You'll play for a little while, and then they will attack you. They're just predispositioned for this. So what we're going to do, with no further delays, we're going to highlight our entire military unit. Now, I wanted to mention a few things first before I did anything. So deploying additional units, once you built them, like in the last video, to deploy said units, you can click on your option here for command department. It shows you how many units you have in reserve, how many you've deployed for each of your four, we'll say, branches of service. And what you do is you can come to the screen, it'll say selected units, boom, 55, deployed units, 55, reserve units 128, and battle groups 0. So right now we have no battle groups, but we have 128 units in reserve, and we have 55 units deployed. So what are we going to do? Well, I want to get attacked, apparently. Oh, look at that. There we go. So we're getting shot here. And these are, I believe, ballistic weapons. That's why you cannot see them. And, yeah, there's that. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight everybody. We're going to put them in a battle group. Over here, where is it? So we're going to clear orders first. And we're going to highlight everyone and say, I want you to all move together, and I want you to be in a battle group. We're going to create a battle group. So now, if I were to select this, we now show that we have our battle group. Now, to deploy additional units, you select reserve and you click over here, deploy, or you can give them immediate orders for what they'll do. What I want to do here is I'm going to send some interceptors. I'm going to hold shift, and I'm going to tell this interceptor, this one, and this one, all three of them, to go to our allies' base here, just so that we have some sort of air support for them. And I actually miscued this, sorry. You're supposed to right click. I left clicked. So there we go. So we're just gonna turn time up a little bit. We might get attacked. Oh, yep, here we go. Move in some of our interceptors. We're gonna move in some additional units over here. I was kind of hoping to show off some shields and things like that, but they are attacking at a little faster than expected. Actually, I believe we're using lasers at the moment. Well, this isn't that hard. We're going to slowly move our units out. Now, one of the things we're going to have to worry about as we move our units in this direction is going to be supply. So we do have a couple supply ships, like a planetary transport here, that is going to be in the location to help supply. There we go. So we get ballistics now, and we have our lasers going at the same time. And yeah, I'll admit, this is loud. And there we go. There's some space combat. So what we're going to do is we'll put a little cut in here, and we'll be immediately set up for the invasion, and we will do a little invasion of the enemy planet. I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. So what we're going to do first, now that we have solidified our area, we've actually got the space above the pirate planet. We're going to put our 3 transports, and we're going to fill them up with units. So how you do that? Pretty simple. Go to your planet view, get all your units, highlight them. I got some, let's say, ground units. There we go. We're going to tell them to load to orbit. You, load to orbit. The reason why that didn't work is because I have you. You need to launch. There we go. That's how you landed a ship by accident. So, we now have our 5 transports in orbit. There's a couple ways we can do this. One, we can go to the transport and say orbital transfer, and it will just pick up everything at the at our main space station. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is pick our specific units, and the reason why we don't want to just randomly say load everything is because we're currently doing trades. So because we have our trades and we double click on our orbital station here, you might see, it depends, not at this time, but we might have crates, so crates for agriculture or power, what have you, that we're currently trading within our ecosystem. We want to make sure we don't take those to completely bork. There they are, right there. Some crates for trade. So we don't want to do anything there. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit this button here, which is load all units into transports, and it will only move our units if there's space. So for example, let's pick an empty one. Empty planetary transport, in this case, can carry 43,200 tons of units. So right now, all our ships here, let's see here, you got 336 tons available, you're full, you're mostly full, and you're mostly full. I'm going to assume I don't have room for some of these guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to select these ones, and we're going to order them to the planet over there. In the meantime, we're going to get these 6 guys, we're going to bring them over, and we're going to fill them up as well. Actually, one of the best ideas is to send in one transport at a time, just so you don't end up with spare stuff. So we're going to our recon option here. Click, and we're going to say, hey, you notice the crates are gone because the merchant AI took them. We're going to hit this again. And there we go. So now when we hover over this guy, he's full too. Now it says it'll also hold 300,000 tons, if you noticed. I was going to point that out now, of cargo, and it's completely full. So we already know how much, theoretically, if you're good at math, you would know how much ships you need. That's 200 available on that one. I think this one is empty, and this one is empty. Perfect. Okay. So then we're going to order these guys over here. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to order all these guys over to the planet as well. Normally, I would take these guys just for additional supply, actually, would not be a bad idea, because you are going to need supply when you initially land. So I'm going to order these guys to go just a little bit past the planet, and we're going to up the time and get all the time in here. Boop, 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 boop. I believe that's everybody. That is everybody. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our invasion of the enemy. So there's multiple ways we can do this. Number one is if we destroyed the original outpost with the basically like a sky crane or a sky elevator or whatever. So we have to actually land our units on the ground ourselves to take the pirates out. Now the pirates are all over here. We get to look to see, okay, there's a spot over here. If I zoom in, there's another spot over here. It's the same one, right? That's the same one. All right. So what I think I'm going to do is mostly land my units over here. Now, if these are just industrial facilities, it's an abandoned town, apparently. Capital City. Okay, so the capital city is down here, but a lot of their stuff is up here. So what we're gonna do is land a fair chunk of troops down here, and then we're gonna land a big chunk of our troops up here. So with that in mind, we're gonna come back up to this screen. We're gonna take all of these guys. We also have these up here. Highlight all of them, kind of put them all together in one big group here. Oops. Highlight them all. Tell them to drop, then click on this planet here. Then we get to right click where we want them all to drop. I'm gonna say, you know what? Drop there. And we're gonna turn the volume, the speed down a little bit, and our units should, once they've reached the location, they've dropped, we can highlight them and immediately say, oops. Pick one guy here to unload. There we go. So that was this guy. Usually what I'll do is I'll select the unit, tell it to launch, and then I'll just go to the next one. So you can go like this and just say unload. The reason for me when I highlighted them all, it didn't say give me the option to unload or just load. It's because one of them was empty. That's the guys I'm using for supply. So we're gonna hit the space bar here. Now all of our units should be good to go. We're gonna highlight all our ground units. We're gonna put them in a battle group. We're also gonna tell them, hey, stay in formation and stay at the same speed. And we're gonna slowly move forward. Now these guys will sit here and you'll hit the S button. You'll see we have a little bit of supply. But here comes the conflict. We got the abandoned town captured. All the different shots going. And actually what I'm going to do real quick, we're going to go to options. We're going to go to graphics. And we're going to scale the models down. There we go. So it looks a little bit more realistic. You can see we're engaging units over here, the garrison units. Lots of fun here. So you see all the ballistics going. Okay, and actually we can tell these guys to move up. You can see some of our artillery units are engaging from far away and using, obviously, their range. We're going to get over there a little bit. We're going to S to see what our supply situation is sitting. You can also hit this button here and see what your supply is sitting at. Right now, we have to wait for this building to build, but you know, our supplies, meh. So these guys to move up. You guys are going to move over here. We need to secure, obviously, our front line a little bit better here. We're going to say, you guys move up. We have our planetary ships here. So I'm not going to be doing a long invasion by any means here. But what you want to do is get a good little foothold. So our units, you'll see, as I hover over them, they're not taking damage. And you see that they're red, they're actually having some supply issues. So one of the things you always got to be concerned about when doing things like this is supply. So one thing I usually do, a little bit of a tip, go to military, start building supply depots. Now one thing I can do too is take all of these guys and say launch, and momentarily they will all go back up in orbit. So you can see we're starting to get some supply now. And we're sitting at 27% supply, so it's not the greatest. So we're going to disengage a little bit here for a moment. Let our units recoup and continue on with the invasion. That's pretty much how you do an invasion right there. pretty simple in my opinion. I like it. I like the fact that you can land your troops anywhere on a planet that you want to. I know this video was a little longer than expected, but I think this is the fun part of the game, right? It's a 20-minute video-ish. I'm going to try to cut it down a little bit, but with that in mind, thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. You could have watched anything else, but you watched this. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.